What is happening, everybody? Adam Houchins here with CrippleCast. I have Mason Ellis in the studio today. We are here at the new Funhouse studio at my home in Petersburg, Indiana. So, I'm going to do a little quick shout out to my sponsors, and we'll get going with Mason's podcast here. So, we got Made with Love and a few F-bombs. That's my gal Tara. She does all the cute stuff on my front porch. It's fantastic. Everybody loves it. So check her out on the internet. She will build you something great. We got Myers Tires here in Petersburg. Blake does a great job changing tires and all the other bullshit he does there at his tire shop. I'm sure he can straighten most anything out. Amber Manor Care Center, Petersburg, Indiana. It's a good place if you want to go somewhere to die. But they also do some other things there, such as rehab facility and other things. I'm not wrong, though. It's not a bad place to die.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Beautiful place. So, we also have Brainstrap Genetics out of Moffat, Colorado. My friend Matt has a genetic seed line, marijuana seeds that can be sold in all 50 states at this point, and it is fantastic. He is great, so check him out on the internet. We also have Atlas Labs. That is Chris Rowe. He has a 3D printing lab in Petersburg, Indiana here. He does a lot of industrial 3D printing and stuff. If you need anything for your business, hit him up. And last but not least, we have Crippled Life Clothing. That's Shelton Carroll, and he has graciously given me a few shirts to wear. This one here, if I can show it, Crippled AF. So he does a clothing company for other cripples. So check him out on the internet. I'll put some of the, stuff here in front of all the people. All right, so Mason, how are we doing today, buddy?
I'm doing all right. It's pretty cool to be here and meet somebody my level of injury so close to me. It's like, wow, I've never even.
Yeah, well, and I followed you from the get go. So when I was in something like we just met today, but something you don't know that I didn't share with you already is I have watched you from the very beginning. I have. When I got hurt, I remember laying there in the hospital, and I said, I watched you. Like I didn't know what level of injury I was going to be or anything like that.
Right.
I just, at first I was paralyzed from the neck down. So I thought I was going to be worse off.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing, you were putting quad tools. You had a quad tool thing, you were opening stuff. Man, I got to get one of them. So I eventually did. And I just thought, man, this guy can do it, I can do it too, So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I remember specifically watching you and gathering inspiration from you. So, I don't know if anybody ever told you that, but that's true.
Wow, I appreciate it. Not in person. I've never met anybody in person like that. But yeah.
So, cool. Let's get into it, man. I want to hear about what makes you tick, what you got going on. We got the same chair, which is like the Taj Mahal of chairs. It's like
it is.
I don't think they make a nicer one right now.
I know.
And so we're very fortunate to have nice transportation here. But let's hear about. Let's take a step back, go to your injury, and hear about what you've done from then to now, and then we'll hear about the future.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Yeah. So my name is Mason Ellis. I'm currently 26 years old. I got injured when I was 17 in high school. It was my senior year of high school, January 19th, 2015, which coming up on 9 years.
Yeah. Speaking of, this episode will air the day after.
Okay.
So you'll have your 9-year anniversary?
Yeah.
At that point? Okay.
Yep. And so senior year of high school, halfway through, just starting the second semester of my senior year, and me and my friend, he worked at Dairy Queen at the time. He didn't work that night, so there's nothing to do in Bloomfield besides drive around. So that's what we always did, and I went and picked him up. And I don't remember anything from this day, so this is just what people have told me and kind of what I've gathered and assumed. I don't really know what I was doing, what we were doing. I'm assuming just driving back roads, but we were driving on a road I'd never been on before, and it was blacktop, no speed limit signs or anything, which I think defaults to 55 in Indiana if it's not posted. So we're probably going 60, and it's blacktop, gradually going uphill for about a mile or so. and we just thought the road went straight, which it did. But the actual blacktop we were on went to the right. There was a four-way intersection with no stop sign. So we had no clue there was a stop sign. And once we got to the top of the hill, going 60 mile an hour, it comes up pretty quick as far as like flattening off. And then there's a four-way, which we didn't know. And we just thought the road went straight, which it did, but it transitioned to gravel and went downhill like pretty steep quickly. And the gravel was real loose, so we just went airborne and came down on that gravel, lost control. Neither one of us were wearing our seat belts. I got ejected out of the vehicle. My vehicle rolled several times, and I was found 96 feet from where my vehicle stopped rolling. I fractured my left shin, broke my left femur, left collarbone, top and bottom jaw.
Jeez.
Took out those 6 teeth.
Oh.
That's a traumatic brain injury, cracked skull, broke C5, C6, C7 on my neck, and my spinal cord injury. I got taken to the local hospital about 20 minutes away, and then I got lifeline to Eskenazi Hospital.
Where's the closest one to Bloomfield?
It's Linton.
Linton.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And so it's known as the Band-Aid shop.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy I used to work with, he was actually quadriplegic with our level of injury. And he worked at the IT help desk for a long time, like a couple decades or a few decades. And anyway, I told him that they took me to Greene County General Hospital, and he said they should have just taken you to stop by Jenkins, which is a funeral home
as well.
in Bloomfield. But yeah, luckily I got lifeline, and I had traumatic brain injury that was pretty severe apparently, and they told my parents that if I made it, I'd be brain dead.
Like retarded, probably. Yep.
And so, yep.
Well, you don't look retarded. I mean, you kind of look retarded. You don't sound retarded when I talk to you.
Yeah.
I kind of look retarded too, so it's no big deal.
Well, you sound retarded though.
That makes sense. Hey, it works out. Yeah, well, it kind of, people think I'm retarded most of the time. When people walk up to you, think you're retarded most of the time?
Yeah, that's definitely.
Whatever. It kind of works in my advantage a lot of times. Even though I didn't have a traumatic brain injury, I say crazy shit all the time. So if somebody's like, "What the fuck, man? I have a brain injury," and it just squashes it right there.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if I got one or not.
Yeah, but they said, I'd pretty much be brain dead, but glad I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually think my brain's improved since, my injury,
right.
It's better than it was before. I don't know if I'm more wise or what.
Maybe. I mean, with this kind of thing, we experience so much different stuff than other people. It's just a different perspective on life.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's wiser or what, but I would say going through something like this does make someone more wise. You look at things a little differently.
Yeah, definitely. It's a different perspective. Yeah.
For sure. So you get to you got to the hospital. You're all fucked up. You got lifeline. Now from there, where'd they take you? They lifeline you to where?
Eskenazi Hospital.
Okay, and that is where?
It's a traumatic hospital, or it's a trauma center. I mean, in Indianapolis. And whenever they were actually lifelining me, my dad actually met the helicopter at the hospital before I got flown to Eskenazi. So, and they wouldn't let him see me in the helicopter whenever they were putting me in there. They wouldn't let him see me, but he knew it was me, and they couldn't give him. They legally apparently couldn't give them my name, even though it's my dad.
What were you? You were 17?
17, yeah.
Then I don't know. I guess maybe I don't understand. I don't know the fucking rules, but But to me, if I'm 17 years old and my mom is sitting there outside a life flight helicopter and that's my boy, they better let my fucking mom in there.
Yeah, and they didn't. My dad was asking them where they were taking me as far as lifelining me, and they said either Eskenazi, which is in Indianapolis, or Evansville, and they didn't know, which is two totally different opposite directions.
Yeah, and from where you're at, Indy might be closer, right?
Yeah, it might be actually a little closer, but they didn't know, and my dad they told him to call the sheriff's department, so he did, and they told him to call the hospital, and so my parents made a decision to just start heading toward Eskenazi and Indianapolis.
I think they did.
Yeah, thankfully they did.
Yeah, I was actually in Deaconess, so in Evansville.
Okay.
So they, because I guess those are the two trauma centers. Is there in Indy and then the next one's Evansville.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I loved it there at Evansville. They were great to me.
Same with Eskenazi.
I had no issues with my care there at all. I went to Shepherd Center after that. Where did you end up for?
I went to RHI, Rehabilitation Hospital.
Yep.
Indiana.
I went and toured the place when I came home because that's originally where they wanted me to go therapy at, and it's just too much. It's 2 hours from here, so Evansville has a really nice spot too. So
that's good.
I got lucky.
Yeah,
but I don't go to therapy anymore. But
yeah, neither do I.
Yeah. I mean, maybe once or twice a year I'll probably get into it, though. I can get stretched out and stuff like that. But I can't physically do any more than I'm doing. So I don't know about working on rolling and all this other bullshit that they're trying to do. I don't know if it's going to help me or not.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to be able to roll myself over, completely. So
I actually have a video on that.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, actually, I'm fairly sure I've seen it. Yeah. I think I've seen almost everything you've put on the internet. At one point at least. Maybe not something in the last year or so, but definitely the earlier stuff I've seen.
Yeah, that's good.
So now you went to. How long were you in intensive care there?
I was at Eskenazi for 30 days. Then I got transferred to RHI for rehab, and I was there for 29 days and sent home as if I knew everything I was doing. I didn't know shit. Yeah, and Shepherd prepared you a lot. Did you get to take classes and stuff while you were there or anything? I took a few classes in RH. At
RHI. They line you up with like a full school schedule of shit at Shepherd.
Yeah,
so
I had heard.
Yeah, it was boom, 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 boom. You had something to do all day long.
Yeah.
And like I had a busy schedule Monday through Friday. The weekends were dead, but I was there for about 2 months.
I remember whenever I wasn't in therapy, I was sleeping because they were putting me through so much like intense stuff.
See, now I wish that maybe I don't know. It just depends. I wasn't in a terrible amount of pain or anything at that point, but I didn't. They half the time they were doing a bunch of bullshit games and stuff that like card games and shit. I'm like, I need to be working. I need to be doing something here.
Yeah.
That was the only part that kind of irritated me. I was like, I'm here to work. I'm not here to play a fucking card game. I want to be working out with my arms. I want you to teach me how to live my life. And, like you can't have, all work and no play. That's kind of what they said to me. But I was trying to get into the next program to stick around. And I just wasn't physically able enough. Like when I left there, I could put my hand on my controller, but I couldn't get it back off on my own. And so all the other things came back like after I came home. So I barely had any arm movement when I moved home.
Wow.
So everything started coming back, and I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So, and now even though I'm limited on what I can do, you know how it is. I still try everything. I fuck shit up all the time.
That's awesome.
You're 9 years in. I bet you don't make messes like you used to. I bet you don't have shit laying around everywhere. You're I've dropped this, I've dropped that.
I still drop stuff all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure you drop stuff, but you can pick things up on your own too.
Yeah.
But I need to get one of the long quad reachers or figure something out where I can get things off the floor. Yeah. That's my main problem is dropping shit. But if I got food sitting out, or I got the food in the microwave, I got a couple drinks sitting out, I'm good for hours. I can sit here. Nobody can fuck with me all day.
Yeah.
As long as I don't piss on myself or something, I shit and I piss in a bag. So it's not gonna be a big deal. So speaking of, well, we can get back to that. But let's hear your story, and then we'll talk about some medical things as well that I go through every time as well. So you're at RHI. You were there for 29 days. You said, okay.
Yeah.
And then moving home, what was that like for you?
Yeah, so I was excited to get the heck out of there. So
Sure.
they drove me home. This guy drove me home. His name was Justin. I don't know why I remember that all of a sudden, but his name was Justin, and he took me home in this taxi van thing. I'm sitting in the back like.
It's the first time in a vehicle since your accident?
No.
Besides the flights and everything?
No, I was actually taken in to, I don't know, somewhere else a couple of times in this vehicle.
Field trips.
And at the time, I didn't have any strength at all. This taxi guy, didn't strap me in or anything. And this guy was a terrible driver. It was like at the last second he'd brake, boom, and I went down.
And couldn't get back up?
Yeah. And I was way in the back.
Yeah,
and that happened like 2 or 3 times, and I was getting mad, yeah. But I got home and everything was fine for the first year. A bunch of people were coming to visit me, friends, family, and all that. And then, after almost a year, probably like 9-10 months later, everybody had returned to their normal life, and they moved on, and I was still stuck here, and it's like I was watching everybody else's life go on, and mine was paused, and it got to me. So a year after my accident was the most difficult time since my injury.
Yeah, the first year back for me was rough. It was I was the only one like this.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part is coming back home and you're the only one, and no one understands it. There's no way you can't explain everything.
Yeah, I mean, you're the first person I've met with my level of injury that's been within 2 hours of where I live.
Right, and I've interviewed a couple other people that are quadriplegic too, but they don't have as much function as we do. Ben Trockman, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's a politician in Evansville. He was on the first podcast, and he'll be on one I'm recording. Actually, it'll be on the one that airs on the 13th. I recorded it on Wednesday of next week. I actually go down there to the where I did therapy at the YMCA, and so I'm not allowed to say who they're affiliated with. Apparently, actually, I can on this podcast. Fuck it. It's Ascension Health. The hospital down there, but they have a YMCA, and so on the podcast next week, I'm not allowed to say they're affiliated with, they are not affiliated with the podcast, period. But the YMCA is where they own that place. So
okay,
I done told them I wouldn't say anything about it on that podcast.
Yeah, you didn't promise anything on this one.
I told them, but I don't like people telling me what I can and can't say.
Yeah,
so
here.
So he was like, well, the guy was like, yeah, you can't say anything about Ascension Health. But then a PT Solutions is the ones that hire the PTs and OTs. So they are all over it. They want their name plastered all over this shit.
Yeah.
But Ascension Health doesn't. So I'm supposed to say like, hi, I'm here at the YMCA downtown Evansville, not affiliated with either of the 2 major hospital systems in Evansville, Indiana. One being Deaconess, the other one which I cannot name. He's like, don't do that. And I was like, okay, I won't do that. But no, they are no way affiliated with my podcast. There we go. But no, Ben's going to be on next week, and I'm interviewing like OTs and PTs that I first came back from my accident and did. So this season on the podcast, I'm gonna get my neurosurgeon on here.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm gonna get some other bigger people. We'll just keep it going, see how it goes. But
that's awesome. Anyway,
back to you. We've got, where were we? You're home after a year. Everybody, kind of tapers off. Everybody gets back to their normal life, and I also have seen that as well.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate in this town. I behave almost like I don't have a disability. Everybody here is very supportive. I got a job. I still got friends and stuff, but now that people don't come over as much as you'd think. I got a lot of friends, but I don't see them a whole lot on the weekends and stuff like that. They're all still doing their walking man things.
Yeah, same here.
So it is, and you know, and I don't get discouraged about. I used to get discouraged about it, but I don't really get discouraged about it because I also think, who the fuck wants to hang out with a cripple all day long?
Yeah.
Who the fuck does though? Because I used to think, like, if I would see somebody like us, I'd be like, ugh, gross.
Yeah.
And then but then I don't like this. I'm like, well, it's still gross, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a cripple now doesn't mean I have a different view on cripples. They're still gross. I mean, most of it, like, you're a clean cut cripple.
Yeah.
Not most of them are.
I agree.
So,
yeah.
most of us are. So, and a lot of people, but I can understand, they give up. They're like, what's the point anymore? Well, the point is you're not fucking dead.
Yeah.
So still got to live. And I don't plan to, you know, I plan to live as much like my old life as possible.
Yeah, same here. Whenever I woke up in, whenever I was in RHI, I guess whenever I was in Eskenazi, my brother was by my bed and told me I was paralyzed. At the time, I just thought that meant I couldn't move my legs, and I thought, no big deal. And I just thought I was going to live life just like I would have been able-bodied. And so whenever I started my YouTube channel, it's kind of my motto, is to help you live life just like you would have been able-bodied. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I've tried to do since then.
Right. And there are limited things you can't do, but there's a whole bunch of things that you can probably do that you never thought you'd be able to again.
Right.
I haven't ventured, like, out onto a boat or anything yet. Like, nothing scares me to do it. Like, I'll jump out of a fucking plane this way. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, the worst thing I think the worst thing has already happened, and that's getting paralyzed. So
it is.
It's from here, it's, you know.
There's almost nothing that scares me.
Yeah, same here.
It's not that, it's not that I'm some badass that I'm tough, nothing scares me. No, like, the worst thing that has already happened to me. And there's only one worse thing that could happen to me. And it's because I have a child. And, you know, if it wasn't for her, that is the worst thing that's happened to me.
Yeah.
So, like, the worst thing could be losing a child. And I can't fathom that. Because if that happens, I'm done for. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Your purpose is gone.
Yeah. They're like, you won't catch me wearing clothes no more. I'm just going to stop doing anything.
Yeah.
So, I just won't let people get me out of bed or nothing. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'll just die. But otherwise, I mean, nothing really bothers me. Like, besides spiders. I don't really like spiders in my situation. Other than that, so you came home, and so when did you start school?
Started back to school. Well, at the time of my accident, I was on track to graduate academic honors.
Oh, that's right. You were still in high school. That's right.
Yeah.
So what was that like? You said this happened. Well, you were at the last semester of your high school, so.
Yeah. So whenever I was at RHI, I was doing some schooling to try and, progress so that way I could graduate with my class. And at the time I was nervous and worried that I wasn't going to be able to graduate with academic honors because I took 3 years of French. That was one of the requirements, was to take 3 years of a foreign language to get academic honors, and then plus pre-calculus and all that. And I was afraid that I had wasted all that time and I was going to just graduate with my core 40 or whatever, which is still okay. But
yeah, but if you've worked your entire high school career,
exactly, and I was worried,
that's a different story.
But I was able to actually graduate with my class with academic honors. But my spinal cord injury doctor or whatever at RHI wouldn't sign off to allow me to go back to school full time or whatever, so I just went here and there for a couple of hours.
Why didn't he sign off?
Because I had a traumatic brain injury, and the thing is, I was pissed because that would have helped me out so much mentally.
Get out of the house and doing something.
Yeah, and to where, because everything was fine whenever I was in the hospital, but it was whenever I got home that was the issue, because when I was in the hospital, it was a different environment that I wasn't used to. So it didn't really bother me. But when I got home, it's like I was in a similar environment, but I couldn't do anything that I used to be able to do.
Yeah.
So if I was able to return to school and get back to kind of how things used to be before my accident, that would have helped me out a lot mentally.
I agree. My wife and I had split up and stuff after about 6 months of my injury, and that was obviously a devastating thing at the time. And so about 4 months, 4 months after that, I was at my wit's end. Like honestly, I didn't even know what was real and what was not. Kind of for a period of time there, I wasn't sure if this had even happened. Like she made me think I was going like nuts, or the whole situation, not necessarily her, but the whole situation made me feel like I was going nuts. So I had to get a job. So I went and got a job at the local hardware store, and that's where I still work part-time. But that is one of the major things that helped me, was getting out of the house, being around people. And even though, I was kind of a one-trick pony as far as construction, I was a pipe fitter, but I could do that. I could do a little electrical, but all I do is show people around and say, hey, oh yeah, this is over here, this is over here. If they need some plumbing questions, I help them out with that. But that helped me so much getting out of the house, and that's a big thing. If I could tell anybody, like, get out of the fucking house, do shit.
Yeah. And
I know this world's not built for us. It isn't, because I don't ever have a problem getting in places because I have ramps in my van, and if I really want to go someplace, I'm gonna get in. But there's certain places I don't go anymore just because of the hassle.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm not gonna get out. Or if I can sit, like, to go to the liquor store, I don't need to go inside liquor stores anymore. I know what I want, so I just send people. It's half the time I order things and have people get them for me.
Yeah. Because
I don't want to drag my ass out of my van, go all the way in. I don't even strap myself down if I'm in town no more. You ever turn it over in a van? Turned my chair over in a van once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have one of my slaves, Gandra. She's Monday through Thursday slave. If you call them a caregiver, it offends them when you call them, right, Tara? It offends her when you call her a caregiver. She doesn't like it. Yeah, it offends. Tara's off camera. She's a good slave. But Dawn, whenever I tell that in front of Dawn's like, it doesn't offend me. It does. It fucking offends you. Get with the program.
Yeah.
Get with the fucking program. No. But I don't know. I don't like saying caregiver. It makes me seem like I'm a cripple or something.
Yeah.
Like destitute. Like I need help with everything or something. Whatever. But what was I saying before that? I lost my track.
We weren't getting.
The place isn't built for us. Yeah. When I came home from the hospital, coincidentally, they were redoing Main Street, and so when you redo a main street, you got to redo the sidewalks and stuff too. So when you're redoing sidewalks, you have to put in handicap accessible stuff. So coincidentally, I got ramps put in every business here on Main Street, so I can go everywhere I want. I told everybody that did it for me, but they didn't. It was just the way it was. And also coincidentally, this is one of two subdivisions. This here, the subdivision, and then there's one just down the street here that they also put sidewalks to from Main Street all the way to here. Coincidentally, I built my house here after they did that. Yeah. Actually, at the same time they were doing it. So this whole thing was shut down. Like this whole road was shut down. They were redoing it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna build a house here on the corner." It fucked all kinds of things up because there was construction here on this corner. The detour from the main road was coming straight past here. Semi trucks were stuck, like we get stuck in everybody's yard all the way through here. It was fucking terrible. These Mexicans that would come from the turkey plants and shit.
Yeah.
And they go to Vincent's and stuff through here. This is the main road, Vincent's. So there's like big signs even in Mexican or Spanish that say you're not supposed to go down this road. And they're like, okay, I don't know. I don't see it, man. Hey, sorry, senor. And then they keep on just rolling. And so they get fined and stuff. They don't give a fuck. So, it was a shit show on this corner. Wow. And everybody was like, oh, you're building your house in the busiest fucking corner in town. Well, sorry.
Well, it's worth it.
It was worth it.
I
It was
love
totally
dude.
worth it. So I gotta sit here and watch them open this road. It was a big day. Big day. I sat here and the house wasn't finished yet. But the original idea when I built this place is I got a sign up front that says the Fun House.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a neon sign out here. And so the idea was to make it so fun my kid never wanted to leave. And so I've accomplished that. She doesn't like, you know, I know she doesn't like going to her mom's house. She's fine with that. But she likes it here. It's a lot of fun here at Dad's house. There's everything you want here.
That's good.
So she's a fun little girl. She's a ball of fire. But I'm gonna plan on still like I'm gonna live stream like video. I got a video game adapted video game thing. I'll show you that before you leave. I'm gonna live stream that. I'm gonna start live streaming other things from here and make it the actual fun house. Like I'd like to do like an MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
Like so somebody like you like in the '90s when the Cribs was out. Well, you're a little younger than me. So I don't know if they even had Cribs when you were young.
But you know, I have watched it. Yeah.
But so there's a certain style they do. So I want to do the same style and do it in my house here.
That'd be cool.
I want to do like coming up. The plan is to do sketch comedy, and so you know I'd love to have you come down and be in some videos and stuff. But but they're pretty rough. I don't. You listen to a lot of comedy or anything?
I do like comedy.
Yeah. My comedy's pretty rough. So it's fun. It's fun.
That's good.
That's another step I'll take eventually.
Yeah. Sounds like you got a plan, so that's
I got too many plans, man. I got plans for fucking days. So
that's awesome.
So back to you again. You're into it. You're starting to go to school here and there. When did you start going full time?
Yeah. So well, I graduated. Actually didn't go full time until after I already graduated high school. So I didn't go full time till college. But I graduated, and then the following fall, so fall of 2015, I started college online, taking 2 classes. Because at the time when I was in high school, I was taking 2 college classes while in high school.
While you were in high school, was it like psychology, sociology?
It was. Nope, it was
really?
English composition and speech.
I that when I was in school.
English composition and speech.
Oh, really? See, I did both of those, but they weren't college credits when I was in high school.
Yeah, so whatever.
Did they have that in Pike? Oh, well, I guess. Oh, that's right. I was too fucking dumb.
Oh,
that's right. That's right.
Classes.
I remember now because I didn't score enough on high enough on my SATs to get into those college classes. I remember that now because I forgot. I've been like 15 years since I was in high school, but I didn't give a shit when I did. Like I didn't plan on going to college when I first took them. I was like, I'm not going to go to college right away. Well, then 2 years later, I'm going to go to college, and I had scored so low on my SATs that the college classes didn't count for anything. So I got about halfway through, I remember, of psychology or sociology, and they said it's not going to count. And I was like, why the hell am I in this class then? So let me go study all the rest of the semester and the rest of the year. I remember that now.
Yeah.
I forgot that English and speech were one too. Huh.
Yeah. So I figured I would start classes. I would just start taking college classes right where I left off. I would, take the English composition class again and then speech. And I already finished the first semester of English composition before my rec. And then, so I tried that. I was on so much medication at the time. My brain was freaking...
fog.
Yeah, and it got me... It was like I was extremely anxious and depressed at the exact same time. Yeah. And it's very difficult to describe that feeling, but
I know what you mean.
I could not get I had to eventually drop one of the classes. I dropped English composition. And so I finished speech and I just graduated with my bachelor's degree this year in information technology.
Nice. And so now you said you got a job at Crane. Now, what does that entail? Like how difficult is it for you in our situation to obtain and keep a full-time job?
Yeah, a lot of people in our situation don't have a full-time job. mainly because they can't make enough money to get off of Medicaid or Medicare or Medicaid, and stuff like that. So basically, if you do go full time and have a disability, you have to make enough money and have insurance good enough in order to make
I figured it up.
worth
I figured it out. It's about $60,000 you got to make a year.
Yep.
And that's with their whatever insurance you have through them. And that's maybe depends on what happens to you, because you have around $60,000 a year to pay for the insurance. Even if the insurance is good enough, then you may still not be making ends meet.
Right.
And what kind of job? That's what I thought. What kind of job can I get with no education? I had education through the trade, but that's all I knew. That's all I knew how to do.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't. I'd have to go back to school for 3 years at least to do anything. I'm 35 years old. Fuck that. I'd rather just try to make my money some other way.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I could have I didn't think at the time. I knew I didn't go through vocational rehab to go to school because I knew I wasn't going to focus on it. I knew I wouldn't care enough about it.
Yeah.
So, but now if I was your age, that's all I'd been focused on was school. Yeah. But I went to school 3 different times, didn't work out. The third time did.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the first 2.
Yeah. So, but it sounds like you got plans in place.
Oh, I got lots of plans.
I'm definitely supportive of that. I think we can help each other out. For sure.
Because there's that's all. Oh my God! I hope I just didn't not record all this stuff that we just been doing. I got it on there anyway. It doesn't matter. I just realized I didn't have my output on. That's okay. I can. I'll be able to splice that together. No problem. But the I got a lot of plans and a lot of irons in the fire. Just don't know what's gonna shake out yet.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going up. But like I said, I want to go to the Abilities Expo this year. Sometime I think they start in March or April. So whichever one I plan on going to, I'm gonna drag you along with me. It'll be a good time.
That'd be awesome.
So I'd love to go out to LA, but I have no desire to go to California. Place could just shift off into the fucking ocean for all I care.
Yeah.
I mean, they just fuck everything up. Anyway, all my listeners in California, what up? I don't care. They, the cripples in California, I would probably live in Florida or California if given the option because of the warmth.
And honestly, it's probably the most accessible.
Yeah, it's most accessible. Yeah. You're.
I mean, I've never been there, but that's just an assumption.
Yeah, I've been to California once, but it was not LA. So, anyway, so you're okay. What else you got going on? You're working at Crane. You got a girlfriend? You got any lady friends?
No girlfriend. No
girlfriends.
So they don't like the wheelchairs.
You think that. Well, some of them do. Some of them don't. Yeah. So I bring there's some perks to this. There's a couple of perks. But, I get the question all the time, does your dick still work? Stuff like that, I get women ask that on the internet routinely. You put yourself out there a little bit, you get the questions. Yeah. So I put myself out there pretty far, I don't plan on being with someone I'm not attracted to, and I'm going to operate as if I'm not in a wheelchair. So I'll get up there on them dating sites and I don't care. Hey, I put it out there. Hey, I'm in a wheelchair, got an accident. Life sucks. The life kind of sucks this way, but I'm pretty funny and my dick still works.
Yeah.
So, it's not been so bad so far.
2 pros, yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been so bad too far. That bad so far. No, I'm not trying to marry nobody or anything anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I'm not opposed to that. But also being this way, getting married after an accident like this with all, like you said, we can only make a certain amount of money a month. Otherwise, you kicked off everything.
Yeah.
And if you make more money than you kicked off everything, you can't make the amount of money that you need to make to not be on Medicaid. So it's double-edged sword there. They always got their fucking thumb on us.
Yeah.
And I plan to combat that one of these days too. Yeah, we're gonna get there on that.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm gonna get to a certain point where I'm gonna make too much money, and they're gonna want to start taking shit away from me. Homie, don't play that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna figure something out. Yeah, I gotta put my money somewhere else, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you can't have more than like $2,000.
Oh yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, and I mean, I can say this now. I don't really give a shit. Like when I first got hurt, I'm broke now. I don't have no fucking money now. But when I first got hurt, I put all of my money somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, that way I knew I could get signed up for what I needed because that money was going to be what I had to build this house on.
Yeah.
What I had to live comfortably. And now I don't have any more money. But that's okay because I have everything I need.
Yeah.
This house is built for me to die in. So it truly is. My mom wanted me to have, I had to have some help in the home. I couldn't do it myself because there's no possible way I could. I was going through it. I got through a divorce, and I'm thankful I have a family that has the means to help me.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people in our position that aren't as lucky as us, and that's why I'm trying to use what I've got left to help other people. I don't know if this helps anybody else, but I hope it does. I hope talking about our situation and putting it more on a real level, as to that's what this podcast was supposed to be about, is shedding the lighter side on things, and even though it sucks, it can still be funny, and people want to see fucked up people doing shit. I will provide. You will provide.
Yeah.
So that's the way I'm gonna keep operating.
Yep.
So you got college done. You're at Crane. No girls. No. What's your future plans? What do you got? What do you want to do here with your YouTubes and your all that jazz?
Yeah. So whenever I was in the hospital, whenever I was in I remember it's probably RHI. Whenever I was in rehab, I was wondering how in the heck am I going to live this life? Doing everything. I mean, we have to relearn how to do everything. I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it. So I was looking up online. Can people in wheelchairs drive and stuff like this? And it's like I couldn't find much at all. And the stuff I could find was like old, outdated, like crappy videos that wasn't very informative. And so after a year or so after my injury, and like I said, the people stopped coming to visit me as often, I was trying to figure out things myself, and so I took it upon myself to figure things out. And once I did, I recorded a video on it, and I posted it on Facebook in my page, my personal page, and I can't remember what it was exactly. I think it was actually, I think the first video was like, I don't know, it might have been a transfer video or something like that. But I'm thinking I was just showing how I calf. Surely that wasn't my first video. I don't know. That's a little personal one for the first. Yeah, I know. But I'm pretty sure it was. And so I uploaded it, and from there it's went well. I mean, obviously there was a high demand for it and a low supply, so I filled that gap right there. And you did, because it's now I can't hardly get nothing out. There's so many people putting videos out. Yeah, I know. It's like, what the heck? But I'm almost on 9,000. That's awesome. So by the time this comes out, I should probably have almost 9,000. But I started doing stuff, recording videos, uploading them, and getting feedback from people saying they helped them. It's good that I helped them, and so that kind of gave me a purpose. Yeah. And it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's why I keep doing this. Is I've already heard, oh man, I really enjoyed your podcast. That's gonna help. That helps me a lot. And I listen to you. Blah blah blah. Like, if it helped one person, great. People say that all the time. Teachers say it all the time. If I help one person, yeah, that's true. If I help one person, I mean, there's a few people that have already helped me. Yeah. That I got going with, and there's
and I plan on interviewing said person eventually too. He's got like us. He rock crawls in his Jeep. Philadelphia. He's from Philadelphia, I think. I can't remember his name. He's had triplets.
I know exactly you're talking. His last name's Wolf.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he refers to his thing as a wolf pack.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he adopted a kid and then had triplets.
Yeah, he adopted.
So now he has 4. And the other day, like a couple days ago, I saw on Instagram he posted a video, and it was him like driving her in the passenger seat. He had 3 car seats behind him, and then 1 in the very back.
Yeah.
He had 4 car seats.
Yeah, they're all infants. They're all infants. It's wild. So, it's Zach Wolf.
Yep,
Adaptive Outdoors. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know where he's from.
He's from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's what you just said.
I mentioned, or I reached out to him, not about the podcast. It was about a trial or something he was going to go do. But I need to get him on the show eventually. So
that'd be awesome.
I'm going to try to travel to him, since he's got 3 kids now, or 4 kids now. So he's,
you should
probably
have plenty of time on his hands.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
But yeah, my plans are now that I graduated college with a bachelor's degree, which is pretty much the only thing I've been focused on for the past, 7 years or 8 years, I guess. But now that I got my degree, I'm going to ramp up my content, my YouTube channel. My plan is to upload at least 1 video a week. And then I started a website, livingablebodied.com.
Livingablebodied.com.
And so I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do there. But I've been thinking about it for a while. It's like I just took the chance. I didn't know anything about making a website or anything. I was trying to figure out, what am I going to call this website? Because on my YouTube channel and stuff, I just go by my name, Mason Ellis. And masonellis.com was already taken.
Right. Everything I've tried for a while.
And so whenever I was in the hospital, and like I said, my brother told me I was paralyzed. I said I was just going to live life like I was able-bodied. And so I came up with the idea of livingablebodied.com. And so I got that, and it was available. And so I've been setting that up. And if you go on there right now, I used a template, and so a lot of it's just a bunch of gibberish. But if you go on there right now, I'm pretty pleased with it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out how to monetize it and stuff. And so I want to start doing kind of vlog videos on my YouTube, which I haven't really delved into yet. But this was going to be my first vlog video. I recorded myself kind of coming down here. Then when I break out here and
nice.
Talking about that printer and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So vlogs, and then I want to do start live streaming again. Like I don't know how often, and then podcasts, which I used to have a podcast I've done a few episodes on. It was called Limitless, but it's like, So I'm known for my name, Mason Ellis. It's like, so do I go with Mason Ellis? Or do I go with Living Able-Bodied? And my podcast used to be called Limitless. And so it's like, do I want to keep that name or change it to Living Able-Bodied? Or it's like, I've just been thinking these past like several weeks. Like
I had a similar situation.
Yeah.
When I first started, I went under the moniker professionally paralyzed. And that was what I figured out when I was in the hospital. And then as things progressed, I had professionally paralyzed, I had my name, I had CrippleCast I wanted to use. So I just decided on CrippleCast.
Yeah.
But I faced the same problem. What's going to reach people the most? What are they going to, but I chose the most offensive, something to grab people's attention.
Yeah.
So that's why
a lot of people get offended by that word cripple.
Oh, I know.
It's like, what the heck?
It's fantastic. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's why is it offensive to them? They're not the ones sitting here in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Fuck them. And even the people that are like, I've only met a couple of handicapped people that get offended by that. One guy was like, you were breaking down walls I put up 30 years ago. And I'm like, sorry, bro. It's a joke. Chill out. Yeah. And I'm going, I'm not calling him a cripple. I mean, I can.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. So, anyway. People get upset. I don't need no calling me. Anyway. So, you got your YouTubes. You're going to start doing that online and everything. Sounds like you got everything on the right track.
Yeah, hopefully so.
I'd like to, like I said, help each other out in any way we can. Anything I can do to help
awesome.
you out, man, I'm throwing it online and vice versa.
I know quite a bit about YouTube and just social media stuff, so I can definitely help out.
That's for sure, yeah. I'm going to need some help on that because my Facebook is what I mostly use, and because that's where most of my friends see stuff, but YouTube gets it out to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Facebook limits me, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how to use TikTok either. Apparently that's a big thing.
Yeah, I haven't done anything with that.
I do a little bit, but it's not major. So, any wild stories or anything happened like since your accident? That's anything crazy?
Probably, I don't know. There's probably some crazy stuff. I've only fell out of my wheelchair one time in 9 years, which is pretty good, I think.
Well, let's hear it. Let's hear that.
Yeah, so it's not anything wild, but before this, I've almost fell out of my chair a couple times. But this was 4th of July in 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2019. And me and my parents were over at a campground and had like a cookout thing, and I had to go calf. And so I went to my van, and we actually have the same van, right? Mm-hmm. And we have the same chairs. And, but anyways, I went to my van to calf, and our vans have the ramp in it, lowers down. Mm-hmm. And I turned that kneeling off like a few weeks ago before this, because I was tired of waiting on it to go all the way down. Yeah. Because I was like, all right, I just want to go in there or whatever. And I just thought it was a waste of time because you can't actually like put it in drive or anything until
it levels back out.
Yeah, it levels back out. And sometimes it doesn't work right. And so I just turned that feature off and I said, screw it. And it'd been going good.
It sounds like something I'd do. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah,
fuck that thing.
Yeah. So I went in there, and the thing is like my wheels were, so the actual ramp was a lot steeper than what it had been before. So I tried going up there, and my wheels were just spinning because it was like sandy or something. And I was like, what the heck? So I was like, well, I'm just going to back in there because it gets more traction. And so I started going in there, and the wheels start spinning, and so I just let go of this, and I just was thinking, it would like slow down the wheels, but no, it's like the wheels just instantly stop. That's kind of how these chairs work. Yeah, it's like instant, and so when it stopped, my back end just started going up, and I started going forward. I was like, oh crap. So I just like brace myself and I fall down, and I knew this chair was coming down on me, which was like
413 pounds.
Yeah. I had the Permobil C300 at the time, so it was like 350 pounds. So my knees hit the ground, and I go like this to catch the wheelchair, even though I don't know how to catch something that heavy. But I was just gonna like get ready for it, and somehow I didn't fall. I guess because of the wheelie bar thing.
Okay.
And somehow I didn't break any bones or anything like that. But I said I need help. Being paralyzed, our lungs are kind of paralyzed, so we can't yell. Nobody freaking heard me. And then a little bit later, my mom comes around like the van, and she sees me laying on the ground.
Oh.
It starts flipping out. It's like and she started flipping out, and she's like, I said I yelled once, but nobody heard me and stuff. And I said I'm just trying to gather myself because I was kind of freaked out for a second.
At one point?
Yeah.
I got it. I got to avoid that. I was a singer before my accident. I've been a singer that was what I did a lot of time, like extracurricular before my accident. And I sang out of a band in Nashville in my 20s and stuff like that. So that's what I took pride in, was my vocal ability. And I told them in the hospital, if they put a trach in me, just fucking kill me. I said, I'll never be able to sing again. And I said, you may as well just fucking kill me. And so they were like, they're like, we don't know if you're going to live if we don't do this. Like I had an 8.5 hour surgery, for my second surgery. And I was like, just, if you can avoid it, please. Otherwise, if I wake up and I can't communicate with anybody, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And they didn't. Luckily, I got out of it.
Wow, that's surprising.
So even still, like, I still can't cough, like a full cough.
Same here.
I can't sneeze, a full sneeze. I haven't vomited since my accident either. Have you vomited?
I have not.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Is crazy.
Yeah, because like I'll feel like I gotta throw up sometimes, and then I'll take a drink of water, and it's over.
Yeah.
And
that's fine with me though.
I'm like, wow. So I mean, I've had the flu since my accident and everything. Didn't throw up one bit. It was fucking strange.
Wow.
So yeah. Yeah, that's the craziest thing though, is not being able to sneeze and cough and throw up.
Yeah.
That is a wild thing. So I think I kind of miss throwing up sometimes. Like if you're not feeling well, it'll makes you feel better sometimes.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're super hammered and yeah. So like I fell out of my chair. I fell out of my chair twice. Turned my chair over 3 times. But I've been picked up in the chair twice. Not this chair. This chair's never turned over.
Oh, I was gonna say.
No. This one's never turned over. And I fucked the other one up.
Oh.
When it turned over, it did something to it, and it was off. Like these things aren't meant to lay down on their side. So I took a header out of my brother's house. We have like an 8-foot ramp on it, like that I bring. But it's not really like the right size. It needs a different ramp. It's too steep of an incline.
Okay.
So I took a header I was coming out of his house, like went over the ledge, and I guess when I went over the ledge from the entryway, I don't know. I was drunk, but I kicked my wheels to the right. I took a header straight off that ramp onto the concrete.
Jeez.
And I'm just laughing my ass. I thought it was hilarious. I didn't break nothing. But my sister-in-law's freaking out. My niece is freaking out. I'm like, it's fine. The seatbelt's only holding me in. And I can tell it hurts. Like, because I'm like away from my chair, but my ass is still in my chair. So as soon as he could barely get the belt undone. So like once he let the belt undone, coincidentally, my phone called the police. Because I had it set up at the time where if I have too much of if you take an impact, it will call the police. Yeah. There's like it's in the accessibility settings.
Yeah.
So this is Pike County Police or Sheriff's Department. Do you guys need help? And I was like, no, it's out of bounds. We're fine. Andy's on there. My brother, he's like, oh no, we're fine. The cops came out anyway.
Wow. Yeah, I bet so.
They showed up like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And I just sit there talk shit the whole time. Like, one of the cops fake arrested me one time.
Yeah.
That's a long story, but my mom got me fake arrested one time to try to teach me a lesson or something.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like 20.
But it didn't work, did it?
Well, I mean, I still broke my neck several years later drinking. But, I guess, yeah, sure, probably didn't teach me that, but I didn't drink and drive anymore after that.
Oh, that's good.
But I wasn't, like, drinking and driving like I'd been drinking that night, and then I went to sleep for several hours, got back up, and was going to work, and mom had like an off-duty cop like pull me over at the edge of the interstate here, and I was like, fuck that, that's bullshit. Yeah, rotten.
Wow.
Trying to teach me a lesson, but I didn't get in trouble on it, and I wasn't like currently still like hammered drunk or anything. I still blew over the legal limit though.
Yeah.
So this has been several years ago. It's like 8 years ago. So,
but you falling or turning that on your side and having that
didn't hurt me one bit.
Seatbelt on. Yeah, I stopped. I took my seatbelts off, my wheelchairs, because I didn't want to be in that situation.
Mm-hmm. And the reason I have mine on is because it keeps my shirt down, and I'm fat. So
Hey,
I was like, I lost a bunch of weight at first, and then
same here.
Yeah, and then I have my belly's bigger than it ever has been even before my accident. But it's because
quad gut or
and,
quad belly.
Yeah, I can, but on the other hand, like I could still not be as fat. I just haven't watched what I ate at all. So 36-year-old man, my metabolism's not what it used to be. So even in especially in a wheelchair, it's worse.
Yeah.
So I put a little bit of weight that I need to cut out. So way it goes. Yeah. But I'd say that's my most I'll say embarrassing thing. That's the most thing I'm self-conscious about is my gut. I'm in a fucking wheelchair and I'm worried about what my belly looks like.
Yeah.
Nobody's really looking at my stomach, but
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. It's just how the brain works, I guess. But all right. So what else you got going on? Anything in your life? How do you say you stay with your parents? Or how have they dealt with you in your accident? Like pretty good.
Yeah, they have. Obviously, it was. I can't imagine how difficult it was for them in the beginning. Whenever they initially got that call and didn't know if I was going to make it. I don't like thinking about that.
Right.
I would never want to put them in that situation, and I'm thankful that I made it. And no, but they've been real supportive, and that's very important whenever you have something like this happen to you, because it seems like the people that do struggle mentally or financially or anything like that after these situations, they don't have a good support system. Yeah. Having a good support system is critical. Mm-hmm. And so I can't thank them enough. I actually paid off the rest of their mortgage.
Good for you.
Like last month or a month before, and the mortgage was for adapting the house for me, and I just felt, I just needed to do something. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because I felt guilty as heck.
Oh, dude, I live in my sister's fucking side yard, like that shit. Built a house on her property. These people helped me more than my mom, my sister. There's so many people that helped me.
Yeah,
that it used to really upset me. I'm trying to give their lives back to them, so I hire other caregivers. Then I've eliminated, like, my brother and sister-in-law completely off my schedule. My sister and brother-in-law were here. They only do a couple of nights a weekend. My mom is almost completely off my schedule. So I want to give them their lives back. They've spent a lot of time on me.
Yeah, so my parents have been real supportive, and I plan on having a house built pretty much like this, pole barn style house, and so this is really cool.
Yeah, definitely check it out all before you leave.
Yeah, and so I want to get that done, but right now interest rates are a little high.
They are. This house cost around $70,000 more than we planned on paying for it.
Wow.
But if I'd have left off the front and back porch, it would have been about right. But it changed the structure of the home from when I put the front and back porch on it. And so, and then the back porch is a big part of the house that I love.
So when did you build this?
I've only been here a year in September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So September is when I moved in. Well, no, Labor Day. So whatever Labor Day was a year ago.
So 2022?
2022.
Okay.
Yep. So.
Yeah, I love it.
yeah, it's a nice little spot. I mean, it has everything I need for me and my kid. So she's ball fire. So if I wanted to add on later, I have space too as well.
That's cool.
I can eliminate my washer and dryer right there, put a hallway in, and build on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This is a nice little spot, but yeah, I'm gonna during the next few months, I'll have probably be doing more stuff here, showing people how I cook and stuff like. I'm not doing as many informational videos like that. Like that's probably more like stuff that you do. I'm gonna show the more comedic side of things, and yeah, because there's a lot of videos and people out there that are doing informational stuff, and that's already your kind of thing. That works for you. That's good for you. But I didn't want to be like that. I want to put up more
the comedy
side, going fucking with people, and you know, like I said, I accuse people of hating the handicap pretty often. Like, oh, if I don't have like an automatic door, oh well, it looks like this place must hate the handicap. You know, I'm just kidding. But seriously, why don't you have automatic doors? This is 24.
Yeah.
You know, like you just mess with people a little bit. Or if I see a wet floor sign, I'll say, good thing that wet floor sign's there. I hate to slip and break my neck. You stare at it. Makes them real uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know.
Perfect.
Because they know that.
And nobody knows what to say.
And sometimes you make I make jokes and they want to laugh, but they're not sure if they're allowed to laugh or what.
And that's perfect. It's like an icebreaker to me. It's like, you know, they already are uncomfortable. Most people are uncomfortable around handicapped people.
Yeah.
They are. So I like to break the ice a little bit and let them know that I'm probably crazier than they are.
Yeah.
And nothing is going to offend me, mostly. So if I address the elephant in the room first, generally I retain control. So that's what I feel anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in control of people's thoughts about me. So if I can take off, you know, like I make them think I'm crazy, it's a win-win for me.
That's a good point. Yeah, and you can implement comedy into any kind of videos.
It loosens people up. And
yeah.
then they don't have to be so awkward around me.
Yeah.
But part of the problem is I make things too awkward.
Yeah.
So I'll say something way crazy and then even more awkward than me not saying anything at all.
Yeah.
That's kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
Kind of enjoy it. It's a different kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you got your YouTube coming up, and I'll put that on here so everybody sees that. What else? Is there anything else you want to shout out, or anybody you want to say hello to? Or
no.
All
I
right.
don't know. I'm trying to think. No, not really.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely have you back again when you get your podcast up and rolling. I'll come and talk to you on there or whatever, and yeah, any way we can help you out, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Keep it rolling.
And I'll help you out.
Sure.
I like the plans you got in place.
Oh yeah. I got some more irons in the fire, so we'll see what happens here in the next few months. But yeah, I'm kind of up in the air myself about what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, but overall, just gotta keep rolling. That's it. So. Yeah, well, Mason, I appreciate you being here. Mason Ellis, everybody. So thank you for joining me today. And we're going to have this out on the, what did I say?
20th.
The 20th? All right. So January 20th, we'll see you then. And yeah, I'll give you the file so you can upload this on your YouTube as well.
All right.
So, all right, man. Well, thank you very much. And CrippleCast Nation, see you later.
Show them this one.
We're done.